So before we just jump into it, I need to give you guys a little bit of context about what makes this place so special. Almost every aspect of Western culture can trace its roots back to ancient Greece. We're talking about mathematics, philosophy, literature, even democracy first began here. This place has one of the richest cultural histories in the world, so you know there's going to be a lot to uncover. Here are my top 7 favorite things to do in Thessaloniki, Greece. So to start us off, right now I'm headed to a Byzantine Ottoman-era fortress called Heptapyrgion. I honestly don't know how to pronounce the Greek version, but it's also known as Yedikul in Turkish, which was kind of the main seat of power in Thessaloniki for like thousands of years, and then was converted into a prison, which was used until I think 1989. Sort of a good point to start learning a little bit about the history of this place. So this ancient Byzantine fortress is over 1,000 years old, and its name translates to the Fortress of 7 Towers, even though it actually has 10. And up until the late 19th century, it was the city's military headquarters and garrison. However, as technology changed, less interest was given to the fort, and it was changed into a prison. Now, the fortress was mainly used to hold political prisoners, like during the fascist dictatorship of 1936, and during World War II under Nazi occupation. It was the site of hundreds of executions, and thousands of people were tortured there. Of course, now the prison has since been closed and is now open to tours to the public, where you can walk through the old cells of former inmates. It does a great job of cutting you off from the outside world, and you really get a feel for what it was like to be imprisoned there. Numbers 2 and 3 I'm actually going to combine because they're kind of in the same area, and that's the Thessaloniki Promenade and the White Tower. The Thessaloniki Promenade is where you go to relax and where you'll find locals strolling by the sea. You'll find musicians, street food, various performance acts, among some waterfront restaurants, although those are a bit touristy. It's the perfect place to take a sunset stroll and just sort of absorb the general vibe of the city. Now, the White Tower is hard to miss on this walk. It's a standalone tower located right on the waterfront, and it gets its name because it used to be called the Red Tower during Ottoman rule when it was a prison. However, once Thessaloniki was liberated, they nicknamed it the White Tower and whitewashed the entire thing as a symbol of cleansing. Inside, there's a really interesting museum that highlights the sort of major changing points in the city's history. Not to mention, you get amazing 360-degree views from the roof. Okay, so this next one on the list is by far my favorite attraction in all of Thessaloniki, and that is the train cemetery. On the outskirts of Thessaloniki, this is where hundreds of trains have been left to rot since the 1980s. They've been trying to sell the scrap metal for years, but it just hasn't worked for a number of reasons. And so it's this amazing place where you just have free range to climb, explore, kind of do whatever you want. Now, this isn't an official tourist attraction, so you do have to be careful. I will say, definitely more overgrown than I anticipated. But as long as you keep that in mind, it's one of the more unique attractions that I've been to. You can take bus 51, 54, and 54A that leave from Thessaloniki train station, and you have to get off right after the E90 highway, and then walk the last few hundred meters. I actually ended up getting off at the wrong stop. Take a look. So that being said, it took me way longer to get here than I thought because there's no public transport. Closest I could get was like a 25-minute walk away, and it's basically all on the side of the highway, so hopefully I don't die. Now, I know I said that they didn't clean it up or commercialize it, they just left it open, but I'm fairly certain that still means it's kind of not illegal, or not legal to be here. But, So that was a typical Greek gyro, which is basically hollowed out bread stuffed with shredded pork or chicken, sometimes lamb, tomatoes, onions, and then like a chili garlic mayo sauce. And man, do they kill it. Now this is about as far into the video as I can get before I start talking about food, because Greek food is among my favorite in the world. And that's mostly because of the frugal way in which they approach it. You see, in Greece, it's less about the complexity of the dish and more about the quality of the ingredients and what you can do with them. Now, Greek culinary tradition goes back 4,000 years, and there's so many variations throughout the country I can only really talk about the northern part. And in Thessaloniki, fish is king. So no matter what restaurant you're at, try and order a dish with fish in it. You can't really go wrong. But definitely don't miss out on one of their specialties, the arni mikrothraki, which is lamb, orzo pasta, grated cheese, red wine, oregano, thyme, and it's all cooked in a ceramic pot. I mean, just tell me that doesn't make you immediately hungry. A great place to try some of these traditional dishes at is Ergon Agora, which is a restaurant market combo, so you know that the ingredients are going to be as fresh as you can get. Next, I'll talk a little bit about Latta Dija, which is one of the coolest districts of the city. It occupies the area where the old port used to be, and was the most important economic center of Thessaloniki for hundreds of years. However, it's changed a lot since then, and now it houses everything from bars and nightclubs to local markets and restaurants. There's really a lot of diversity here. However, in recent years, it has become a bit more gentrified, as the tourist industry is starting to take over. But this is still the kind of place that you go to without a clear destination, with the sole purpose of just wandering around and discovering some of the hidden gems this area has to offer. And last but not least, number 7, Nightlife. The Lonely Planet listed Thessaloniki as among the world's best cities for partying, and it really does have an explosive night scene. The most local spots that I found was in this place called Fix Factory of Sound, which is located in an old beer factory, and it consists of 3 or 4 live music and electronic clubs that feature a variety of music. Trust me, you'll only find locals here. It'll look like your taxi driver is taking you to be murdered, and then he drops you off at this door, and you start to hear the thump of the bass inside. Trust me, it's pretty awesome. There really is a place for everyone in this city. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's about it. Before you go, I've partnered with a great new company called Indo Hemp. They create really cool artistic hemp backpacks, and 10% of every sale goes to nonprofits helping child poverty in Nepal. So go ahead and click the link in the description of the video and use the code GoLocal to get 10% off of your order. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you next time.